Will you introduce yourself, please?
Yes, hello. My name's Geraldine O'Brien. Um, Married with two children. Ian is my husband and James and Sophie are the children. Um, Very pleased that you're going to interview me. I hope you enjoy just as much as I will.
Okay, right. What type of music did you listen to when you were younger?
Well, because we only had a radio and one record player,
Yeah.
it was a, it wasn't up to the young ones, brothers and sisters, what we had to listen to or choose to listen to. It was what our parents wanted. And because my both parents were Irish, there was a lot of Irish and folk music played. So that was more or less it really, growing up, first couple of years.
Okay, next question. What type of music did you listen to when you were a teenager?
Well, I like most kind of music, but I think what influenced me most of all and made me quite happy to be was punk music. Um, there was quite a lot of punk groups out, but say my favourite was the Sex Pistols.
Yeah.
A lot of things they sang about, I agreed with. A lot of things they didn't, but a lot of things I did. Yeah.
Okay. Did the music you listen to influence you by your style, your hair?
Oh yes, yeah, yeah. Um, Even though I was 16, 17, 18 onwards, I still wasn't allowed to do certain things with my hair, like get a Mohican. The Mohican was a fashionable hairstyle in them days.
Yeah.
But I wore a lot of black or bright colours like green and pink. And I quite enjoyed it, to be honest with you. A lot of people were positive. You got a few negative people, but a lot of people were quite nice to you. And used to say, I wish I had the guts to do that. So it made you feel good.
Yeah. Next question. Did your friends listen to the same type of music as you, and did they agree with it?
Um, my friends, when they came round to our house, didn't have much choice in it was always what I liked, the punk. But I like a lot of I like most kind of music, so obviously I liked a lot of things that my friends liked. Um, but yeah, even they started singing some of the songs that I used to like.
Yeah. Right. Next question. Do you think upcoming bands in Liverpool are inspired by 60s music?
Oh yes, yeah. I think the 60s, it was. I mean, you have to be in the 60s to not just see it, but to feel the atmosphere. But Liverpool in the 60s and 60s, not just the Beatles, there was all sorts of groups, Jane the
Yeah.
Pacemakers, the Hollies, they all made it, from Liverpool. And I think the great thing was they were just normal, ordinary people who came from normal council houses. So you could relate to them as well that way. And the music was great, absolutely great. They'd done a lot of fast music, which the young ones liked, and then they'd have some like slower music that maybe the other people liked.
Yeah.
But yeah, even today, a big influence.
Yeah. What type of music do you think upcoming bands and singers Liverpool will listen to? Do you think they listen to 60s music or young music nowadays?
Well, I have noticed that a lot of groups today, I know in the last couple of years, they intend to take either some word from a song or music
Yeah.
for a background from something a couple of years back. But I think music in the past, whether it's the 60s, the 70s, 80s, it's always going to be there to influence the young ones, which I think is a good thing because it might give them that little start that they need to get going.
Yeah. You said when you were younger, you were like punk music.
Yeah.
Do you think punk music would helped to shape the city in Liverpool? Do you think a lot of people listen to it?
Well, yeah, because we used to go to Liverpool and there used to be two shops in Liverpool, one called Probes and one called Extremes.
Yeah.
And that's where all the punks used to meet.
Yeah.
We weren't troublemakers. People thought, because, oh, look at him, all black chains. People thought the worst of it. But honestly, I must say, it was the most happiest time of whatever I've gone through in all my life. for what, 53 years, that was the most happiest. As I say, and it was a positive. A lot of people, it was colourful,
Yeah.
and a lot of people would say nice things, make good remarks. You get the odd one that would, say something bad about you. But then you just say back to them, you don't know the person inside.
So a lot of people stereotyped against punk.
Oh, yeah.
And that type of music.
Yeah,
People like,
yeah.
people in Liverpool like, stay away from that type of music because you'll get into the wrong type
because
of people.
an example, I worked in a factory 5 days a week
Yeah.
with Auntie Margaret.
Yeah.
I used to wear what you call normal clothes with what they call a tabard, an overall.
Yeah.
And no one bothered. Well, come Saturday and Sunday, the weekends were what you call my weekends. I used to dress up in whatever, whether it was black or shock and pink. And people's attitudes were different to me at weekends to what they wear like in the week. But I was still the same person.
Yeah.
It just shows you by what you wear, how people's attitudes can be different.
But you did like other music, didn't you?
Oh yes, I like music.
Do you like the Beatles?
I like the Beatles. Yeah. The Who. The Rolling Stones. There are certain songs from the Rolling Stones. Time you hear them, which is not very often these days. It does not give you a bit of a boost because you think, God, thinking back to how it was. But yet the Rolling Stones, Status Quo, been going for all my life, and I still like them now. So yeah, those kind of music, good to work with.
The Beatles were very popular when you were younger, and they were meant to be bigger than Jesus. Do you think any band or singer in Liverpool will be able to live up to the expectations of the Beatles?
Asking a person who was a fan of the Beatles, I would say no. A lot of groups have got near as far as the Beatles, but I'm sure even they'd agree themselves that the Beatles were the biggest.
Yeah. Do you think music in the 60s changed Liverpool's culture, and do you think it still has an impact today?
Yeah, it has changed. You go back as far as the Beatles. Today, at the present moment, there's a lot of tourism because of the Beatles, whether it's Penny Lane.
Got the Beatles Museum.
Yeah, museum. Strawberry Fields.
Yeah.
The Cavern Club. Eleanor Rigby, and I even know for a fact that even people, young ones as far as Japan, have come over.
Yeah.
And just to come and see Strawberry Fields, or go to see a house that John Lennon was born in. And even today, the tourism is still an important impact on Liverpool because of what happened from the 60s onwards.
Yeah. Well, it's the first album you brought, and was it very successful in Liverpool? Was it big? Did it ever, hit the charts?
Yeah, they hit, the Beatles, they hit the charts.
So your first album you brought was the Beatles, yeah?
The first album I bought was the Beatles, and I couldn't stop playing it. When I had the chance, I played it over and over and over again. And in them days, it was called an LP, meaning it's a long player.
Yeah.
It'd be 6, 7 songs. Then when it finished, you turn it over to side B, and there'd be more songs on side B. I know it's CDs now, but I must admit, I'm an old-fashioned person, and I do still prefer. I wish to still have records about, but yes, the Beatles. What was it? Please Me, wasn't it? That's what I liked.
So what was that the name of the first album you bought?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and that was in the 6th. I was only. Let's see. That came out in the early 60s, and I didn't buy it. Well, a couple of years later, but yeah, it was the first album.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.